I need to be talked off of the ledge. Everyone knows by now I'm a huge Steelers fan. Like, that's my team. I'm riding with my team, all the things. I also am nitpicky, and I will pick and prod and all the things.
I guess today I'll be moonlighting as a therapist, but when I'm not in therapy mode, I'm a retired 9-year NFL veteran. Spent 4 years with the Pittsburgh Steelers from 2014 through 2017, the Killer Bee era. And yeah, man, had a ton of fun. Obviously, man, throughout my time here, won a lot of games, man, got close to a championship, AFC championship. But as a whole, man, still love everything black and gold. And like you said, man, around the clock doing content on it, and that's shown through YouTube and everywhere else. So yeah, excited to be here with you though. So let's do this. Let's go.
Do it.
Appreciate you again taking some time to jump on the channel, and appreciate the opportunity for letting me jump on your channel as well.
Absolutely.
Like I said, we will do this again in the future, but
Welcome everyone in.
Bravo.
No one will even understand the background and all the effort and all this stuff. So I was like, we need an intro. We need something that, like, you know, we can start with or whatever. So that is what I created.
That was top notch right there.
Yeah.
Top notch.
Because I think, like, some people, not everybody watched our, like, conversation. And so I was like, let's kind of take it back. Like, let's take it back to when you talked me off of a ledge and everything was a little bit, you know, whatever. Before the Steelers realized they could, like, make trades and things like that. And so, So welcome everyone in. I believe this is your first live stream where you're dual streaming, right?
Absolutely. It's my first dual stream. So for my crowd, y'all already know what it is. You know, about to have a good time chopping it up with Tanisha. Excited about this one here today.
I love this. Okay, cool. So we're on both of our channels. So I think people can hear us. If you can hear us, just give us a 1 or something in there. That would be amazing. So thank you everyone for being here. We have so much to talk about.
Oh, yes.
We can talk about so many things. I think the most important thing, though, is that, like, the Steelers are on the move. We're making moves. The fans are, like, talking about moves. And I feel like for so long in the offseason, we've always just been like, I don't know. We're going to win 10 games. We're going to win 9 games, you know? Yeah. But now we're kind of like, do we like it? Do we not like it? Are we going to make moves? Like, I feel like we're active. So what does it feel like for you? Like, I feel like I'm active. Like, people are asking me, like, what do you think about the Steelers moves? And I'm like, right, we're making moves. Like, what do you think?
100%. We're on the same page with it. It's no longer, hey, bet the over because we obviously know Coach Tomlin can't have a losing record. No, now we're over here, like you said. How do you actually feel about a Jalen Ramsey for a Minkah Fitzpatrick? How do you actually feel about a Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback? Heck, we're over here having conversations about, well, did we upgrade at wide receiver if we went from GP to DK? Like, that's where we are. It's super exciting, but it's also, I think, for us as fans, man, a sign that the Steelers aren't just doing the same old thing. I mean, we've always heard, right? The Steeler way. Oh, they would never do that. So it is kind of refreshing, even though we don't know if it's going to work out or not. It's at least refreshing to see them doing something different than what has been the status quo these past couple of years.
Yes. And you know what else is great is I went through a spin cycle. So we recorded in May, right? And I was like, I don't even know. We didn't have Aaron Rodgers. All we knew was like DK Metcalf, and we were kind of in the moment where, like, Shador, we didn't get Shador. We're kind of like, all right, whatever. Now I'm like shifting, and then we talk, what was it, almost 2 weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, this is what we're gonna do. And now I'm like, okay, now let me refocus. Let me get my thoughts together. And
the amount of behind the scenes conversations that have changed due to the Steelers, they were like, no, we're gonna do this. Oh, this would be great. Hold on, wait a minute. Check that. All right. This is definitely the plan now. All right. I thought that was going to be it. We got one more change, one more adjustment. We staying light on our toes, though. So salute to you and salute to you for that. All right.
Exactly. I feel like I'm over researching and over indexing and over everything. And so I want to say a couple of housekeeping items just so everybody knows. I am in control. So don't get mad at Moats if he doesn't bring up your chat, your chat. I'm going to bring up.
You got the sticks. Don't worry about that. She got the
I will bring up everything for you. So don't even worry about that. I got you. The other thing is don't forget to hit the like button, share this video, all the things. We'd love to hear your thoughts, opinions, and because we don't know what's going on either. We're like, we're day 3 of this too. Like, we don't know. And so Let me just say this. I feel like when we first said we're going to have this conversation, it wasn't about this. We were just like, yeah, let's just kind of talk, figure out some things. And now I'm like, okay, well, let's shift that conversation and so what I've been doing is taking some time to go, okay, let me look at this from like a different view, not a fan view, not a player view, not like, I want to look at this from a GM 2 to 3 year view. Because I'm a fan of the Steelers, right? So even if what happens this year, I'm still going to be a fan next year and the year after. And so the way that I'm seeing things now has started to shift. So, because when I talked to you before, I said, I think we need to sign TJ Watt. And by the way, I think we do need to sign TJ Watt because I don't think that you make this deal and do all this with Jalen Ramsey and you get Aaron Rodgers and you get all these things and you shore up certain things and then you let that guy walk. Now, if somebody comes and offers us like 2 firsts or, first and a second, we'll talk.
Conversation.
But I think, right. So I'm just saying that. But what do you think about the Steelers? I've said on record that I feel like they're in a silent rebuild, a strategic rebuild. I think this kind of speaks to that a little bit because we're kind of making moves here and there. But what do you think? Like now that you've had some time to like take a deep breath, you know who's not here, you know who is there, you've looked at the deals. How do you feel this is going?
Yeah, so for me, now that we've had a couple of days to kind of process it, I'm seeing even some of my guys over here, Rod Dollars, Lifted One, and Jar Devil. We were all trauma bonding, going through the chaos together. At this stage, I found a little bit of a silver lining. I'm saying, okay, we found a way to at least ensure we're competitive this season, right? That's the Aaron Rodgers element, the Jalen Ramsey, the Jonnu Smith part, right? We feel for 2025, at least on paper today, we have a team that we legitimately feel can compete. Now, does that mean that they're going to be able to make it to a Super Bowl, AFC championship? We don't necessarily know that today, but we feel a lot better about this roster now than we did 2 weeks ago. Heck, even a month ago, when we were trying to figure out was Aaron Rodgers going to come out of retirement or not, right? Or was he going to retire or not?
We were like, right? We don't have a quarterback, but everything's fine.
Right. So I feel a lot better now, but at the same time, my long-term optimism is this. We didn't have to mortgage the future to get a Jalen Ramsey. Think about this, Tanisha. When we first saw the reports about Jalen Ramsey and the Steelers having interest, it was about a month ago. And the conversation was largely based around what type of draft capital will we have to give up to get Jalen Ramsey? And everybody was like, man, I don't want to give up a first. I don't want to give up a second. I don't want to give up that. We got all these picks for next year. Yep. Well, Omar, in a way, and shout out the new money, Omar Khan, right? Just got his 3-year contract extension.
He did.
Hello.
We keep breaking news every week.
Come on now. Yeah, I'm like, they just slid that under the radar. I'm like, no, that's new money right there, baby. A 3-year deal. Okay, but we'll get to that, right? Yeah. But when I look at what Omar did, Omar essentially said, well, let me do best of both worlds. We're the Steelers. We don't tank. We don't go into any season not feeling competitive. So I check off those boxes. 1 year deal here, or 1 year deal here, 1 year deal here. All right. Now, how do I make sure I still have my future taken care of? Man, you've seen how many draft picks we have. Heck, even in this trade, we didn't even lose out on a draft pick. It was like, yeah, we're just gonna switch it out. I hear you take this 5th, we take the 7th, everything's good. We're like, bro, that's it. Like, serious? And even when we're looking at just that one player for one player, it's not that. You're giving up a one Minkah Fitzpatrick 3-time All-Pro 28-year-old player, but you're getting also 3-time All-Pro 31-year-old Jalen Ramsey and Pro Bowl tight end 30-year-old Jonnu Smith. So in a way, you're getting 2 for the price of 1 in this situation. So yes, you lose out on maybe the younger player of the group and maybe the better player of the group, but you're still getting 2 high quality players that you're adding onto your roster.
I think that's important.
Yeah, and I think that's the that in between area that Omar Khan wanted to operate in, and kind of how the Steelers have operated this offseason when you look at them.
Yeah. And you know what else I was thinking about? Let me get the super chat off really quick. So thank you, Vocal Vike, 499's a super chat. Skull, he is the Minnesota Viking fans. Minnesota Viking fans. They've never done anything to me. They're a lovely group of people. So shout out to him for that. Shout out to the Minnesota Vikings. I love that. I love it. I think that I like that we didn't have to mortgage the farm and we made a move. And I always say this, I like to negotiate. I will negotiate anything. Okay. Anytime of the week. And everybody feels like they won and everybody feels like they lost. So to me, it was perfect. It's exactly what you needed. Right. And it's like, no one's like, yes. And no one's like, oh man, everyone's like, yes, no. Oh, I don't know. I'm worried. I'm still concerned. And let's be honest. It's because our team has been elite average for so long, and we
And
don't
look,
know.
when you dropped that term, clearly my channel loved it. They were like, elite average. They've been running with it. When you said you saw how my face lit up, I'm like, yo, it's the perfect way to describe what
Yes.
we are right now.
We-
We're spot on with it. But even with the move, we're all kind of feeling like, all right, did we get better?
Yeah,
Did we get worse?
we don't
Are we
know.
kind of the same? It's like, I
that's
don't
what
know.
makes it great. I think that is it. Right?
We don't look
Because
at Jalen Ramsey and say bad play. We say, hey, he's good. We look at Mink and say he's good. It's like, well, I don't know. How does that work out? But we got Jonnu too.
yeah, and so the other thing is too, let's talk about that, because I know on your show, because shout out to you, because obviously I watch your show, obviously. You mentioned and you said something on there, and you said we're spending so much time talking about losing Minka, so much time talking about that. We're not talking about what it means for our offense and where we've gained there. But I also think that speaks to, because as Steeler fans, all we care about is our defense until our offense starts to suck. And then we're like, wait, why do we suck? Like, what is going on? So what do you think about
different. Yes, we are very different in terms of our fandom. We love defense. Heck, we love linebackers. We would always joke. We say, if you play linebacker for the Steelers, that's like playing quarterback somewhere else, man, because it's more eyes on you. People care.
Yes.
And we care about defense. That's why TJ Watt, Minka Fitzpatrick, heck, Cam Hayward, an interior D lineman, is a household name among Steelers Nation, because we care about defense to that extent. So trust me, we are on the same page with that. But yes, I do think it's important to look on the other side of that ball, because Jonnu Smith, not only is he helpful to the offense, I look at this and say, yo, this is a big piece for the defense as well, because it's going to help minimize the amount of snaps they have to play. Getting more talent, getting more playmakers, getting more resources on that side of the ball will now help this offense be able to sustain drives. We get so caught up in the scoring of points, which it does matter, and that's a critical part. But the other part is, what are you doing on possession downs, third downs? Why is that critical? If I'm a defense and after 2-3 series, I'm not getting enough rest, eventually it's going to catch up to me. Eventually, you're going to see me in the fourth quarter start to fade. And now when we get into weeks 12, 13, week 17, we're going into the postseason, that's where it starts to add up. And now we're starting to see it. And you look at the past couple of years, what has been the Achilles heel of the defense? Well, they fade late in the year. First 10 weeks, they look elite. Think about every year we come out, we're comparing Steelers defenses to 2008 Pittsburgh Steelers defense every time. First 10 weeks, like, yo, man, this is historic. Man, this is great. Can they keep it up? Can they keep it up? Can they keep it up? And then it's like, no, you can't keep it up, because this league is too competitive and it's just too tough to sustain that for that long. So that's the part where I look at offense and I say, well, how do we offset that? I need guys that can move the sticks. I need guys that can run after the catch. You look at Jonnu Smith, he's a yak king. He does that. Get him the ball in his hands. Let him make a guy miss. We had a quarterback in Aaron Rodgers who, yes, we know he can take you deep, but throughout his career, he is specialized in picking you apart. He understands how to throw tight ends open. He understands how to work all three levels of the field. And to me, I think that that's another huge part in this. Now, we know the big thing is going to ultimately fall back on that offensive line, but outside of them, this is the part where I'm looking and I feel the optimism. I'm saying, okay, Jonnu Smith is far more proven than this O-line, so I can lean on Jonnu and feel comfort there. The O-line, I got to wait and see. But on paper, it should be better.
So with that, though, how will he help? Does he block? So is he a blocking tight end?
So to me, I don't look at him and say he's a blocking tight end. Will he get in your way? Yes. Will he give you effort? Yes. But at the same time, I look at him and I say the way that he really hurts you is schematically. You don't know how you want to use him. So when you're trying to match personnel, are you lining up in the slot and he's now out running a legit route? Are you lining up as a true tight end, right? In the line, like Pat Frymouth, like Darnell Washington, where, on the backside of a formation, he can get in your way enough. Would you want him to be your lead blocker? No. But how many elite or high-end wide receiving or receiving tight ends they don't run a lot of run plays directly behind Travis Kelce. They don't do that. They don't do a lot of that. But it's like, we're going to do certain things to keep you honest, but mainly get in his way long enough. And now we know when you get him back is when you're running these routes. That's how I look at Jonnu Smith. I think he's a step up in terms of that than Muth right now. But we know with Muth, he still has a long way to go, right? And those are the things where we're saying if you can't block well, you have to dominate as a receiver. And when you giving, 880, 884, 8 touchdowns is what Jonnu Smith had last year, that's when you say, okay, we can work with that. Now we understand too, 111 targets is a lot of targets for a tight end. We don't anticipate Aaron Rodgers throwing that much to him, but he can still give us, in that range of production, 500, 600, 700 yards. Like that is still going to be something that he can do. And that's how you offset necessarily his lack of elite blocking ability.
I like it. I think too, like it goes back to complementary football, right? We always talk about it. We always talk about it. We always say it's a thing, and we don't know it's a thing until we know it's not a thing. And I'm yelling at home, if we get off the field one more time on 3rd down and could do 3 and out, if we run a freaking toss to the right, and then
don't you call that a toss? Don't you? Why you want to listen? Family friendly. Family friendly. The toss play is not family friendly. All right, family friendly, please. We don't run that toss play. We do not run that toss play.
And then I'm like, oh, it's third, right? It's 3rd and 10. And what are we going to do? We're going to dump it down for 5 yards to move and wonder why we couldn't get the first down. Like, so you're telling me that maybe we'll have actual plays that go down the field instead of backwards? I'm a fan of that.
I've been doing all the good stuff, right? They say, you're supposed to pray. You got to live right. All right. I go to sleep at the right time. I eat vegetables. I'm doing all these little things right with the hopes that, yes, we will actually, run legit plays that go beyond the sticks, and not hopefully this toss, he'll make 10 guys miss in 5 yards worth of space and get this first down. Yeah, we don't want that. Yeah.
I'm so sick of it. I am so sick of it. The other thing is too, if you're just getting here, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you do all the things, add to the chat.
Subscribe on both channels too. Make sure you hit subscribe on both channels. Yes.
By the way, I'm almost to 2,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed to my channel, head over and subscribe to my channel because I'm almost at 2,000 subscribers.
Get her right. Get her right.
I will also say this too. I am reading the chat, by the way. So yes. Okay. Listen, let's take a break here for a second. I am petty. I am very, very, very petty. Okay. I am reading the chat. I am very aware of what's being said in the chat right now. Okay. I'm very petty. So just know that.
The chat can get kind of wild at times. I'm just letting you know. I don't know about your crowd. My crowd, we're a little wild. All right. Yeah. We're a ragtag bunch, ladies, gents, old, young, all colors, races, and creed. We like to have a good time. We're all bonded amongst Steeler Nation. All right. But yeah, we get a little wild.
That I can see it. I can see it, and I have thick skin, so I am okay. The other thing, though, too, shout out to the chat, right? Yes, bring it on. Like, I will be honest, some of the stuff that you guys are saying is actually funny. I will give it to you. It is funny, and yes, I do see it. So I think the other thing that I was thinking about too, though, is whenever I look at the Steelers. Okay, when I looked at the Steelers at the end of the season, I said we need to get talent. We need to get talent. We need to get talent, and we need to evolve. Those are kind of like my things. Talent, and then we need to evolve. We have to do some things. We're definitely evolving. I see some evolution. And I think, this is not a knock on Minka, I think we've also switched a little bit with a little bit more athleticism in certain positions. Because I do think Jalen Ramsey is a little bit more athletic than Minka. Now, I'm not going to knock Minka. Shout out to Minka. Shout out to him. Yeah. But I think the changes that we're making are enough to where it's like, I see what we're trying to do. Now, do I think we're going to win the Super Bowl? No, I'm not going to sit here and say, I think we're going to win the Super Bowl. That's not what I'm saying. But I think that we're
coming. Stop it.
I think we're doing things that make sense. And I like that. I feel comfortable. Remember, I told you I'm in an abusive relationship with the Steelers. Okay. Yes. I'm in an abusive relationship. We're working on things right now. We're talking. Okay. He's moving back in the house right now. My Steelers are moving back in the house.
A lot of steps in the right direction. All right. We didn't see the flowers pop up. All right. He didn't popped up on you. Go get your nails and hair done. I'm like, okay, all right, okay. I see you putting forth the effort. Okay.
That's it. We're doing the effort. We're doing the effort. So we've done some effort. Okay. And now we're heading into training camp. And this is where I want like your expertise, because you've been here, done this. You've been a part of all of this on all the different sides. So what is this like for you as a player? Let's do it both ways. As a player coming into training camp, knowing that the Steelers are kind of doing some unconventional things right now, as far as Steelers fans feel, but it's just football moves. We're just shocked. How is it for you coming into this and you're like, all right, I'm about to go to training camp with these guys. I'm the new guy. What is that like for you?
Yeah, so for me, man, I'll talk about it from the free agent side, right? I go back to 2014. I signed over here. In fact, me, Darius Hayward Bay, and Mike Mitch signed over. And I remember at the time, Mike Mitch, he was the big free agent that we acquired, in his contract at that point was one of the larger free agent contracts that the Steelers had given out. So to a degree, even though I personally didn't have the big deal, we still felt being a part of that free agent group, like, yo, they're doing something different here, right? So
Okay.
for the way that me and Mike would communicated about it was this: you feel a certain expectation and a certain sense of pride. And what that pride is this: we were the outsiders coming in, both of us coming from organizations that didn't have a lot of long-term success, right? Or even in that
Mm,
recent time. But the Steelers, from a footballer's standpoint, Pittsburgh Steelers defense is something that you look at and say, man, if you can play here on this defense, you belong in the NFL. You are one of those guys. But you think of all the legendary names. And that was the thing that got me. I remember walking in that locker room and it's like, yo, you see a Troy Polamalu, you're talking to a James Harrison. You're like, whoa, a Mel Blount pops up for an OTA practice. You're like, whoa, like these dudes are like the legends, right? And they're
right.
still actively here. So you feel that. So it makes you prepare with an extra edge. It makes you prepare and say, man, I am not going to be the reason that Dick LeBeau has a bad defense out here. I am not going to be the reason that we don't make the postseason. I am not going to be a part of the defense where they're like, hey, y'all were terrible, man. No. For
I
us,
like
it was
it.
like,
Okay.
man, we're going to do whatever it takes during this time frame to build this thing, to get it to where it's supposed to be and return back to form. And we both said the same thing, man. Prior to us getting here, there were 8-8 back-to-back years. We were
Yep.
part of that run where we were able to make sure we were in that postseason and feeling good about it. So that was that approach. Now, the other side is when you're the internal guy and you got that new free agent coming. And that's a little bit different too, especially depending on who the free agent is and how big they are, offense versus defense. But for me, man, I always go back to my time when, I'm up in Buffalo and we were hosting the big marquee name, Mario Williams. You're like, whoa, bro, this is like a mega star coming into town, man. Like, what this guy does if he is here. So you feel this sense of like hope once you get this guy signed. It's like, yo, I know that guy is coming here and that guy brings a lot of production, a lot of talent. So now internally, if you're the guy here, you're like, man, I better do whatever it takes to make sure they don't bring another one like that in here, because now they're going to be taking my job. That's for
Right.
sure, man. From the Mario Williams, the Sean Merrimans, you're like, hey, bro, y'all bringing in some killers now, man. Like, it's time to up it, and that's when it makes you, if you're an internal guy, you understand that, and you should prepare with more urgency, because they're not bringing those guys in just to bring them in. They're bringing them in
Yeah.
because they look and they say, man, we need to upgrade certain parts of our roster. And when they're upgrading your position group or on your side of the football, yes, you start to look around like, all right, who else you about to bring here that looks like that? Because we don't look that's 6, 7, 2, 8. We won't look like that now. Yeah.
That's so funny. Did you ever
Yeah.
have to deal with anybody holding out or anybody that's
So,
like not there
for
because
me,
they're
yeah,
Go ahead.
actually, I experienced that my second year. A guy named Jarius Byrd. He was coming off of a Rookie of the Year campaign, All World Safety Pro Bowler, and at that time he was getting ready for a new contract. And the Bills at the time weren't trying to do it. They end up tagging him, but he ends up not being there for any of the offseason stuff. I mean, I think he shows up literally the week before week 1, regular season. It was weird because for me, that was my first time ever experiencing that in my life. Collegiately, you don't have guys hold out. Like, what is
Right.
that? No, you're here. We ball. Like, we're locked in, like, period. So for me, that was different. But then that's when they started to communicate to you, it's a business. And this guy is handling the business element. But my whole internal frustration was, physically, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage because you're not getting the reps. You're not in football shape the way that we need to be, because it's a difference between conditioning work and playing football and being in football shape. And we kind of felt that even when he came back, the first month and a half, it wasn't the same version of what we had previously saw. And even when you bring it back to Pittsburgh, we look at, the Le'Veon Bell situation. It was like, man, you look at the offseason where he wasn't there, then he comes back, and it's like early on, it took him a little bit of time to get it going.
Right.
That's the part that, you don't like as the player, but you have to understand it from the business side. And that's, like I said, as a professional, where it just gets messy at times.
It's
And
a
we'll
little
look at the
sticky.
organization like, bro, why are y'all doing this? Just pay him. Y'all got the money. Like, let's just go ahead and get it over with. But that's the business side. And luckily for me, I was fortunate enough to play long enough to kind of understand that. But when you're in year 1, year 2, you're 21, 22 years old. Yeah, you're not hearing any of that. You're like, bro, why aren't you here? Why haven't they paid you? Who are we upset with? Like, that's the mindset.
Makes sense. That makes sense. The other thing I'll say too is it's always interesting how it's like there's no football, right? There's no news, there's nothing going on, and then there's little things going on, there's rumblings, and then you go back to training camp, and then it's almost information overload. It's like this person's here, this person's here, this person's here, everybody's here. Did you see this? And then he ran by, and you're trying to take in so much, and then this is as a fan. So I can't even imagine what it's like for you to be there.
I just enjoyed the beginning of training camp when we're getting the body reports. I always say like, hey, we're pro body until it's football time. Hey, man, hey, did you gain any weight, Moach? Hey, hold on. Is that Big Ben or is that Slim Ben this year? You'd be like, bro, why are we doing this every year? We got to do this every year.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I guess the other thing is too, is like, how are you feeling? How do you feel Jalen Ramsey? Not just like Jalen Ramsey. How do you feel like even DK, Aaron Rodgers, then all the draft picks? Like how does it all come together? I mean, is it easier when your quarterback is new entering because you can kind of gravitate towards that? Like, how is it? What is it?
So, from my experiences, I've always preferred the quarterback to not be new. Because that's your centerpiece. That needs to be the part that everybody gravitates to. He's your leader, right? Now, in this situation, is different because it's Aaron Rodgers, and he is so decorated that you naturally will fall in line as a competitor because of just how much respect you have for him as a player. And that's the part that even when we were doing some of the free agency thing, and it was like, man, is he going to show up? Is he not going to sign? And how fans were a lot quicker to kind of be like, yeah, I'm done with that. And us as players, we were kind of like, no, we'll wait because you respect the player, the talent part way more than anything else. You're like, bro, I don't care about what we say he likes, doesn't like, who his family is or not. When he's slinging that rock, there is only a handful of guys in the world that can do it better than him right now, man. That's the part that we look at. So I think in this situation, it will be different because Rodgers is a proven leader. Rodgers is a proven champion. He's been the baddest man on the planet for, multiple years during his time frame, right? So that part is not as bad. But when you have big changes at those type of positions, it's hard because if he isn't the right leader, say he comes in, his mindset is more, I want to be introverted, I want to only care about myself, that weighs on everybody else. Whereas if that's just a wide receiver, you can kind of isolate that. You can kind of move away from that. If it's just a running back, you kind of isolate, you kind of move away from it. But at the quarterback position, that is your center of your roster. That's the center of everything and your main leader. Yeah. So that's the part where, like I said, me personally, I prefer that already being in place. But in this case, with it being Rodgers, we should be able to kind of mitigate that.
We'll make an exception for the
look, fingers crossed,
Listen, okay, we'll take what we can get. Okay. If you're just entering, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We're live on both of our channels. I was gonna say something that I know the chat was gonna go crazy about, so I won't say it. Let me say it a better way. This is the first time you have streamed on to your channel and another channel. So let me focus on my words here.
Listen, the way that my chat gets down, you got to be really careful with how you talk. All right. Listen. David Decker, DC 53, they get they will get you. Okay. Again, it's multiple times I'll say something and I'll look at the chat. I'm like, really? That's how y'all feel? Like y'all gonna do it like that? Really? Right now? Like, come on, man. Stop. All right. It happens. Yes.
Speak correctly. Let me use this education I have and say the right wording. So if you're just walking in, that's what you're walking into. I am in control. I am monitoring the thing, so don't get mad at Moats for him not pulling up your comment.
She's the head coach.
Yes.
All right.
And
I'm just Arthur Smith.
Standard.
I'm just Arthur Smith. I'm just a guy. All right. I'm just a part of the organization. All right. But she is the head honcho here. All right.
And I do, like, I know sometimes like people don't know what's happening in the chat. So I'm like, this is what's going on. So just like both channels, subscribe to both channels, engage with whatever you want to say. I think the last 10 minutes, we can just do questions, appropriate questions. If you can stomach some appropriate questions, chat, we will take your questions like the last 10 minutes or so. But the other thing
I can tell though, I was going to say, shout out to you though. You're doing an awesome job in the driver's seat. All right. The hosting skills, I peep you. All right. Just know that. Just know that. Yeah.
I'm staying focused. The other thing I was going to ask you is, because I have been watching your roller coaster ride of, yay, oh, okay, okay, yes, but this is going to be okay. Okay, but this is going to be good. And then you did the call-in show. Show. And I think after that, both of you were kind of like, okay, I think we're good. But then I kind of heard yesterday, you were kind of like, well, what if they do let go of Watt? $40 million is a lot of money. So how do you feel?
I hate to do it. I hate to do that.
So how do you feel? Where are you at today with the news? Are you kind of like, because I think last time we spoke, we were both on team sign TJ Watt, because we were both on team like, he is who he is. We need him. He's the leader, especially now that you've let Minka go. I kind of am starting, we need that staple. But what do you think?
In my heart, all right, this is my former teammate. I saw him at the beginning of this thing as a rookie. I want him to get his money. Go get paid. I want the Steelers to be the one to pay him. All right. This is I always tell people this, right? Whenever you're about to say something wrong or something that might hurt somebody, you say with all due respect, right? Or you say the super nice thing on the front end. Oh man, you look so great today. Oh, I love everything about you. Oh man, no, you're perfect. I just needed to say this one thing real quick though, right? So it's like, yo, I love everything about it, man. I think he deserves all the money he can get, man. This is my favorite pass rusher in the league. All right, love me some TJ Watt. But okay. There is a way where you could potentially, get some pieces that could help you right now while also even maybe getting an asset for the future. If you did not want to pay TJ Watt 40, 41 or $42 million going forward, thing is this, right? We know he's right at that 30, 31 range, right? In terms of his age.
Right.
The Steelers aren't going to give him a deal that pays him 42, 43 or 40 to $42 million that is less than 3 years. It just has to be 3 to 5 years based on how they want to spend the money, right? How you want to space it out. So when you're looking at that, now we're talking about, okay, how many of those years are going to be guaranteed? The further you get into that, now we're not saying TJ Watt getting 40 million at 31. We're saying at 33. We're saying that it's like, yo, I don't know how good I feel about that. Along with what does the cap look like, right? So these are all the things that you're taking into account. Along with this was the first time based on the past 3 years where he didn't give you at least 15 sacks, right? So you factor in all of those things and you're asking yourself, okay, do I really want to lock in that going forward? Or do I look out there on the trade market? I think Philadelphia was the one I had most recently saw, right? Nolan Smith and draft picks. And it's like, okay, cool. If you want to just put a name on it, right? To say this is an apples to apples. I need a player plus picks. Now I have something where I feel like at least in the interim, I got a player. I have the pick or picks for going forward. And I still have money to go out and sign multiple free agent pass rushers if I want to go that route. And some of the names that are out there, Zadarius Smith, who, if you look at what he's done throughout his career, he's historically a double-digit to high double-digit sack guy. If you want the other high-end pedigree to bring in and just have, man, let me get 5 just high-end talented dudes in there. They're not TJ, but maybe 5 of them can be TJ. Okay, it's a Jadeveon Clowney out there as well. Throw him in the mix, right? So even with that, right, none of these names is a standalone you love, but all of these names give you pass rushers for 2025 while you still have multiple picks and potentially a higher pick for next year as well. And it didn't even cost you 40. In fact, you probably could have done that for 20 million. And if you want to go sign you something on offense, now you can still do that, because we still said, man, if we're really wanting to push this thing, you might want to add another wide receiver, right? We still have been back and forth on that. Well, you can still do that as well. Not saying I love it, because I think that there are a lot more moving pieces with that approach. But if I'm Omar Khan and I'm just going through all these different mindsets, if I can talk myself into moving on from Minka Fitzpatrick, well, what makes it where I can't talk myself into potentially doing the same thing with the TJ Watt as well? And that's just kind of where I look at it. I'm like, I don't like it. I hope that's not the case. I want them to pay TJ Watt. Pay him, pay him, pay him. But from just a business standpoint, I can see an avenue where they say, man, we can get a couple of other pieces that can help us now while still getting some future without locking everything into TJ because of how we emotionally feel about him. And then if it's 11 sacks again next year, now we're really looking at him and feeling some type of way. The same way we were looking at Minkah these past 2 years and we're saying, well, we're paying you. You only giving us one interception. I don't care about them trying to take you out the game. I don't care about schematically what they're doing to you. We need more production.
Yeah.
And that's my only fear. If you commit the 40 plus million to TJ, that is going to be the talk these next 3 years.
It's a good point. Oh gosh, I could go round and round with this. I feel like I get it.
Pay him, please pay him. No, I want to pay him.
I feel like if they pay him, it's safe. Yeah. I feel like paying him is the safe bet in the sense that
it's super safe.
Yeah. It's a super safe and nobody does anything. But if you don't pay him and you get creative, I might be on board for that. Like I might hate every second of it and then silently be cheering. Like I might be like, this is so ridiculous. Yeah. And then in the background going, I kind of understand it though. Okay, who are we gonna get? Like, so I hear you. I hear you, and I like that.
Can't we both say the same thing about this Minkah Fitzpatrick trade? We hate it because it's Minkah. We hate because of how we feel our connection to Minkah being gone. But you mean to tell me getting 2 Pro Bowl caliber players isn't good? Like that's not stuff that's gonna help us out right now on both sides of the. So once again, I look at TJ and I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like how it would make me feel, but there's a scenario where you could get a lot in return.
The only good thing is
something that I'm sure they're going to entertain.
If we do pay him, we're not paying anybody else that amount of money right now. We don't have a quarterback that we're paying that amount of money. Even if we drafted a guy next year, he's still not going to make that amount of money. Yeah. And somebody is your highest paid player on your football team. That's just how it goes. And if you're asking me what I feel safer doing would be, I feel safer having that money into TJ Watt because it's a known commodity and I know what I'm going to get. Because if he doesn't get it and we go get some guys, my concern is then next year we're going to be back here again. And now we're going, and let's say one of those guys has a great year and they go off. Are we going to pay them the 40 million? I would rather almost give it to TJ because if we draft a quarterback, he's not getting it for what, 4 years? Was it 4 years, 5 years?
Yeah, 4 years. Yeah.
So
all of that is real. All of that is real. I was just hopeful that if any of those dudes that I named goes off, we have a built-in reason why we can't pay you over 30 million. I gotta see you do it again.
That's true.
You know, I gotta see you do it twice. Yeah. TJ gave me 20 plus 15, 17. I seen it multiple times. Yeah, that's why he gets 40. Even Myles Garrett and Max Crosby have done it multiple times. I gotta see it multiple times. I gotta see it again. That's all. So that's how you offset it. Or you do the traditional, hey man, you'll get, maybe something nice signing bonus wise, but outside of year 1.5, the rest of this is just, it's funny money. It looks good on paper. It looks good when it runs across the ESPN ticker. Oh, he has a 5-year, $120 million deal. 30 million guaranteed. You're like, what? It's only 1 year.
We're basically playing Monopoly. Yeah, we're basically playing Monopoly.
We call it the Sam Darnold. All right. It looks great on paper. It looks great on that. You're like, man, that's a lot of money. Is that just a 1 year? It looks like a 1 year deal, bro. That's just a 1 year deal. Okay, cool. Yep. But it looks good though.
Let me get out the super chat. G.
Shout out to G Alexander. Yeah, that's the homie. Okay. Yeah.
We got a Wagwan. I know that's right.
All right.
Quit playing, sign Watt. How much is Mink's leadership going to be missed? Good question. Should they sign Jordan Poyer? Please no. Or Simmons to replace him? Simmons, I think is fine. Do you think they should spin the block for Gabe? That question was for you.
Okay. So shout out first off to the homie G Alexander. Yeah, man, for sure you're gonna miss Minkah's leadership. But what I will say is this: don't sleep on Jalen Ramsey's leadership as well. This is a former captain, that more importantly, is a former Super Bowl champion. I love Minkah. Minkah has never been on that type of team, NFL wise. Collegiately, yes, but NFL wise, with men leading that, Ramsey has. I'd feel like that is just as impactful and will be just as beneficial for us as Minka. The only difference is the continuity. Minka has already had 6 years here, so the relationships are already built. Jalen, it's going to be the same type of respect that we talked about for Aaron Rodgers, but just a little bit less because he plays corner. But as a defender, you look at Jalen and you respect his play over anything that he might say or do in an interview, because you're like, yo, that is one of the best corners that has been in this league since he's walked in the NFL, man. Like, he's that type of guy. Now, in terms of signing the Jordan Poyer, I felt like when he left Buffalo, that was like really, it's gone. It's done. All right. Yeah. Justin Simmons, I like that a lot. I think that still has a lot of production left in it. You even look at what he did last year. In the past 3 years, he's still a productive player, playing in pretty much every game and starting. But along with that, interceptions. One of the big complaints we had about Minka the past 2 seasons was 1 interception in 2 years. That's not the case with Justin Simmons. Now, the flip side is this. Minka is the better, well-rounded, physical, will hit you still safety. But Justin Simmons will still be able to cover at a level that we're not going to feel a drop-off in comparison to Minka. In the same way, when you even brought up Jalen Ramsey, it's like, even with Ramsey's athleticism as the cover guy, you're going to feel at the same level or potentially better coverage-wise with those type of guys. But the big difference will be the run fits, the physical, the tackling part. That's where Minka separates from those 2 dudes. But that's kind of how I look at it. And in terms of Gabe Davis, I'm personally cool on Gabe. I like the frame. I don't like how inconsistent it is. Me personally, I prefer Amari Cooper of the free agent bunch because he's a silky smooth route runner, consistent hands catcher, and I think he'd be a nice complimentary and calm piece to DK Metcalf while still being able to provide that veteran leadership for guys like Calvin Austin, Roman Wilson, and it won't clash with Robert Woods either. So I prefer Amari Cooper personally.
I love it. So I want to warn the chat. We are going to jump in the comments section. Okay.
Hey now.
Okay.
Hey now.
We're going to.
It's about to get wild.
We're going to bring up comments. Okay. We're going to remember that we are adults. And we have mothers and sisters and people that we value.
We got daughters. Lives. All right. I got a daughter. My daughters be watching this. All right. They be subscribed. Spouses. They liking it. Yeah. Just chill.
We have spouses. Please. Okay. Like we have things in life. Okay. Yeah. So if you have questions, drop them in the chat. I've been starring a couple of them as we're getting going, because I think one of the things that I love about the Steelers just fan base and network and all the things that we do is we are very, very, very in detail about our team, and we all have opinions. But at the end of the day, we all just want to win. And so at this point, we're like this and this and this because, right, like it's the offseason. It's what we do. And so I just want to shout out to us for being phenomenal, a great fan base. We're in tune, we're alert, we have options. We're trying to figure this out together. So I love that. Let me pull up this super chat and then I'll get to some of the questions that I've started. And as the questions are coming in, I've been starring them. So you might see your question up here in a little bit, just FYI. So this question's for you.
You're a professional over here. This ain't your first rodeo. I see you over here. I've been starring these over here.
I gotta make this look good.
I got these here. The intro was fire. I'm gonna pull the curtain back. She was worried about the intro not being fire. The intro was fire, guys. All right. You already know what it was. Hit the like button for the intro one time. You already know that. Come on, man.
I am an overachiever.
I was like, yo.
Overachiever.
Just kill the intro. I'm like, dang. I thought it was gonna be one. I said, oh, this is multiple cuts. This is multiple clips. All right, geez.
Yeah. I was on your page too, clipping stuff. I was like, in any minute he's gonna reach out and be like, "Are you good?"
No, this was good. I was like, all right, okay, all right.
Okay, listen. If you want to hype me up, I'll play the intro again for you guys. Just give me a second. Let's get off this super chat and then we'll play it again, just because I know now you need to see it. So the question is from Daniel. I'm not going to try to say her last name because I butcher everybody's name. So it's not you. It's totally me. If Watt trade happened, what would you want in return? I like the idea of Scary Terry. Look.
Oh, Frankie Louvu.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Louvu. I got
I'm
you.
sorry. I was stuck on Terry because I was like, yes, right now.
We love Terry.
Sorry. And some picks. Love TJ and don't want to trade, but what if? I think that's a solid question.
No, without a doubt. And I love the fact that we're not isolating TJ's trade value to just pass rushers, right? Because I know for most people, they think, man, if we're going to trade TJ, I have to get a TJ Watt in return. You're not going to
Correct.
find a TJ Watt in return. That's not happening. You can piece together multiple players to give you a TJ, but you're not going to just find a 1-for-1. So if you wanted to go with the Terry McLaurin, I'm down for that. Why? Terry is a heck of a player at the wide receiver position, and he instantly will make your offense that much better. The flip side is this, though. Terry does cost a little bit more now. So in terms of how you mitigate the loss of TJ, that you have to do a little bit more, leg work behind the scenes just because of what you're going to have to pay Terry once you get him here, along with, if you're Washington, do you do that trade just simply player for player? Or do you feel like, man, Terry plays wide receiver? I think that position ages typically better. How do you, like, do they look at that and saying, well, we still got to pay TJ $40 million? Hey, man, you might need to send something with that. Like, I don't know that part of it, but to me, I do like the mindset though of, yeah, if you want to go get a receiver, and I like the fact you have a name specifically for him also. Yeah. Terry McLaurin is a heck of a player. Now, Frankie Louvu, me personally, I don't think we need him with what we currently have. When you talk about a Peyton Wilson, a Patrick Queen, who we anticipate being more productive this season, he even said it himself. Man, when you get paid like this, expectations are what they are. I have to play up to that. He said that on record, and I love that because that lets me know he's self-aware. He's watching his own tape. It's certain dudes, they're not as self-aware. You got to tell them, hey, bro, I'm good enough, man. Others, you want to hear that. And he already on record is saying, yo, I have to be better and I will be better. So that's why I say we don't necessarily need a Frankie Louvu, because if those two dudes play to their full potential, I don't need Frankie. Right. But now if Frankie was a true outside, I think that's different. But in terms of both of those dudes together, I'm cool with it, man. We can make it work. Love the picks part, though. Need the picks because it is TJ Watt. Need the picks.
I like that it's different picks. Like I like that I like that we're thinking outside of the box. So I am going to pause this for a little bit here. We've just gotten literally like a bunch of new people coming in.
Yeah.
So
Shout
if you are new here, if you just got here, welcome. We are so happy to have you. Okay.
Welcome.
We're so happy to have you. So make sure you like this, like what we're doing on both channels, because we're on both channels. Make sure that you subscribe, engage in the comment section. Okay. Just get in there. It's okay. Just get on in there. And then the other thing is too, because Moats is hyping me up, I'm going to play the intro. So we're going to level set, because I will say, when I was on your show, a lot of people were like, who is she? How did y'all meet? How did this happen? What are we doing? Where's this coming from? We are going back to the origin story. So sit back and enjoy. Get 'em right. I need to be talked off of the ledge. Everyone knows by now I'm a huge Steelers fan. Like, that's my team. I'm riding with my team, all the things. I also am nitpicky, and I will pick and prod and all the things.
I guess today I'll be moonlighting as a therapist, but when I'm not in therapy mode, I'm a retired 9-year NFL veteran. Spent 4 years with the Pittsburgh Steelers from 2014 through 2017, the Killer Bee era. And yeah, man, had a ton of fun. Obviously, man, throughout my time here, won a lot of games, man, got close to a championship, AFC championship, but as a whole, man, still love everything black and gold. And like you said, man, around the clock doing content on it, and that's shown through YouTube and everywhere else. So yeah, excited to be here with you though. So let's do this. Let's go.
Do it.
Appreciate you again taking some time to jump on the channel, and appreciate the opportunity for letting me jump on your channel as well.
Absolutely.
Like I said, we will do this again in the future, but
yeah.
I won't lie. On the countdown, I was kind of like, all right, let's go. So that is the intro. Okay. I spent so many days on it. I spent like a whole day, and I was like, I'm going to come up with an intro. I don't know what it's going to look like. Good luck. It might look like crap, but here we go.
So, that was fire right there, man. Top notch.
I love it. So let's get to some of these questions that I started. So let's start from the top. Some of these were a little bit earlier, so let's just go in on them. So when was the last time TJ logged a full season? Didn't he play all season last year?
Yeah, actually, just pull them up real quick, right? We want to make sure we get you some accurate answers real quick. I got you. Heck yeah.
I can't remember if he missed a game last year.
let's say all 17 past 2 years, all 17 games, 17 starts. It was 2022 where he gave you 10 games, 10 starts 2 years ago. Yeah. And then prior to that, he was 15 games, 15 starts, 15 games, 15 starts, 16 games, 16 starts, 16 games, 16 starts, 15 games, 15 starts. Yeah. Outside of the 1 year, 2 years ago where he played in 10 games, other than that, he's 15 games, 15 starts historically, like on average. That's TJ. Yeah.
Love that. Okay, so that takes care of that.
There we go. I guess we ain't want to guess it. We ain't want to guesswork. This, yeah.
I love it. Okay, research, come through.
That's why I pulled it up. I was like, you know what? Let's pull up the thing. It'll tell us right there. Yep.
Yeah. TJ deserves to be paid. I just don't know how much. I think I think that's fair. I feel like that's what we're all kind of feeling. We just are kind of weary of like, how much are we going to give him and what is it going to look like? So I think we could all agree with that.
Well, because like you said, I mean, TJ as a player is still productive. Let's not make it like he's a bad player. It's just we're talking about paying him a historically great number, 40 plus for a non-quarterback. Myles Garrett was the first player to ever do that in the history of the NFL. That's why this convo is how it is. That's why we've been talking about would you trade it, TJ? Because we're saying, would you pay him a historic? This is the outlier. Right. We're always like, would you rather eat this or would you rather jump off a cliff? It's like, this is the jump off the cliff type comment. Like we're all the way there with it at this stage of it. So just a little more context with it, man. But yeah, 40 plus is a lot. It's a lot.
Yep. And I will be honest, I would love it for them to just pay him more than Myles Garrett, just because it would just make me happy. So there's that. And then this comment is actually a really good comment. And I think sometimes we lose track of it. And it's like, you can't look at the salary itself, but the percentage of the cap, which is 100% true. Yep. The amount alone can freak you out, but the percentage is a better measure of the value of the contract. I 100% agree with that. I think that is a great point. And thank you. We always need somebody to keep us on track, right? We always need somebody to kind of bring us
shout out to our capologists out there. All right. We need a good capologist in this world.
I like it.
Only in the building, man. Let's go.
Only spoiled Steeler fans would consider doing away with a generational franchise player. This is the end of an era of around and find out. You are 100% correct. Because what do I call myself, Moats? What do I say I am?
Now respect. I mean, you're still a fan. You do this.
Steelers
you're spoiled, but you're still a fan. Yeah, absolutely. This is what you do. This is what you do. Respect. Yes. Respect.
That is who I am.
And shout out to Brent Fox also. My man down there in Dallas too, man. I already know, man. Hey, he feels it. He feels it. All right.
I like it. Yes. This is a good question. How many more moves will be made this offseason? How many do you think? I would like to see at least 2 more. I would like to see a wide receiver 2, and I would like to see a move that I don't see coming.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know what it is though. I kind of want to see something where I go, okay, guys. All right. I like that. So that's what I want. What do you want?
As we sit here today, I'm gonna just say bare minimum 2. I need another wide receiver. I need another safety.
Okay.
That's where I sit today, right? Yeah. As much as I'm optimistic about Juan Thornhill hasn't been healthy enough for me to just bet the whole season on him right now.
Fair.
Justin Simmons, I like a lot. Yeah.
Very
and then the same at wide receiver. It's like, can a Roman Wilson, a Calvin Austin, a Robert Woods and company surprise me? Sure. But with football, I'm like the opposite. I'm like, a realist. It's like, I need to see it first. All right. And that's why I look at the Amari Cooper. I'm like, y'all have already seen it. I know what that is. I don't want to do the guesswork. Not there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. Bust down, insert
bust down.
One more big move in the wide receiver room. I think we're all kind of waiting for it. I think I think we think that's coming, but we'll see. So I agree. Exactly. We're all distinguished researchers. Yes, we are. So
yes.
I love it. We are. And then this one's just saying that I'm back because I love that. Like, thank you. Welcoming me back.
Yes,
I appreciate you. I appreciate you for that.
We want more. All right. Good.
And then
He should
this
come
one
in here
really,
dropping bombs. He should be like, hey, look, I ain't going for that. All right, I got to tell you how it is. I'm like, you know what? Talk it, say it. Yes.
I was like, I don't know if your audience is gonna like this, but I don't like it.
Yes.
Really enjoying how Moats is expanding his content. Shout out to you. Shout out to you.
Appreciate you. Major love.
And yes, he's just as amazing behind the scenes, just so everybody is like wondering, like,
yeah,
are people really like this or whatever? Yes, he is. So there's that.
Likewise, all right, you just as dope off of it as well, man. I so appreciate you. Yeah.
I love that. Y'all better hit the subscribe button for my baby. I'm guessing you're his baby, so there's that. And then I
was over here like, that's on your channel. All right, that's your name. That is
not on my channel. That was on yours. That was on yours.
Pray I'm not his baby. All right, Lord.
We need more speed in the secondary. I think that's true.
Yeah.
What do you think?
And Jalen Ramsey brings you that, though. I will say that the athleticism, the athletic profile that Jalen presents, we are going to feel that on the back end. It is very different than Minka. You will feel the athleticism. You will feel the speed there. Now, when we talk about adding more speed, Justin Simmons gives you that. And that's why you keep hearing me reference his name specifically versus a Julian Blackmon, right? Because I think Blackmon is more Deshaun Elliott. I think he's more physical, will hit you versus that true middle field guy that can go sideline to sideline and make plays on that football in the air. Right. Those type of dudes, yeah, we will feel even more speed increase. But even as we sit here today, we're going to feel faster defensively. Darius Slay, he still can move. You talk about Jalen Ramsey, athletically, he is going to profile as your most athletic outside corner, your most athletic slot corner, and your most athletic safety. And that is with him still having prototypical size for all of those positions as well. We're going to feel better about it. We'll feel good. It's like I said, it's still fresh right now, but once you start seeing them move around out there and how they're going to utilize them, that's when we're going to see, okay, this is a unique piece that we have here right now.
Okay, I like it. Gavin Anthony has a really good question. What is going to happen to Slay now that we have Ramsey? Also, how good will the O-line be? So I just want to answer the back half. We don't know. We don't know how good the O-line is going to be. We honestly don't know. I think usually when I hear Steelers conversations, everybody says, assuming the O-line holds up.
Yeah.
I don't think we know, though. What do you think?
I'm just glad we're past the stage of it can't get any worse. That used to drive me nuts.
Hey,
Marquise Posty, it can't get any worse. And I'm like, yo, you're lying to yourself. If you're gonna look at this snap going over Ben's head in the wild card game, and you're gonna isolate that in a handful of snaps, and saying that that's the reason why you could just find anybody to come replace him. Yep. Y'all know how we felt. All right. That drove me nuts. That was one of my ones. I was like, yo, stop saying it can't get any worse. At this level, it can always get worse.
Fair.
But yes, we don't know what this O-line is going to look like. The only optimism that you can find is, hey, on paper, this is the most pedigree. This is the best group on paper that we've had since the Killer B era. Now, on paper versus actual production, two completely different things. And that's why we usually say potential, we don't want. We want production. Potential will get you fired because you'll be waiting on it forever. Man, this guy has a lot of potential as a first-round draft pick. This guy's a lot of potential as a marquee free agent. But it's like, yeah, where's the production? If that's not there, you have to be careful about how we feel and talk about some of these guys. Now, in terms of Slay's unique, man, because Slay has the versatility also, but the athleticism isn't the same as Jalen Ramsey at this stage. I've seen some people talk about him potentially taking reps at safety. In obvious passing situations, Darius Slay for sure can play safety because you're talking about just coverage. Just coverage alone, Darius Slay, just like Jalen Ramsey, you're going to feel great about them in coverage at safety, at outside corner. The difference, though, is when it's time to hit, that's not going to be where you're going to want him at. So you have to be real strategic about his usage. In terms of, do I start him at inside slot corner? Me personally, because of his man-to-man background, I think that's the easier way to kind of roll him out while I allow Jalen Ramsey to do outside corner on maybe first and second downs. And now, when we're talking about some of these obvious pass situations when I want to get exotic or even match up, maybe it's Darius Slay, you're going to the middle of the field. Jalen Ramsey, I want you to play man on this high-level tight end. Or Jalen Ramsey, I want you to go play man on this high level slot receiver that they have this week. Or they got this guy over here. I want you to go follow him. JPJ, you got the other guy, right? You take the other dude. Like I look at those type of things, and that's just me. Like I said, in the moment spitballing, I'm very, very confident that Terrell Austin, who obviously had time with Darius Slay when they were out in Detroit, I do feel confident that he is going to know how to utilize these type of pieces, because for Terrell Austin, he wants more man-to-man. He wants to do the front four rush. Let me play these different exotic coverages. Let me get these different things on the back end. And now he has the personnel for that. Jalen Ramsey, that's a matchup guy. Darius Slay, that's a matchup guy. Different than what we've kind of been doing, where it's been more of the, all right, can we trick him? All right, we're not really going to blitz it, but now let's see if this middle hole player, in terms of Minka, can he jump and steal a route? And it's like, well, we're just going to avoid the middle of the field now because we're not matching him up with somebody specifically. Whereas Slay, Ramsey, you're saying, hey, this guy's getting targets. We want you on him.
Okay.
That we will feel a difference in. Yeah.
I like it. I'm excited. I just want to give some hello, like people saying hi to us from at the very beginning. Oh, by the way, you'll know this if you are subscribed to my channel. I have so many like fans from all over, like because I do the NFL
Minnesota, Detroit,
and then I talk, then I talk college football. So like you will notice, you can tell from my audience, it's always going to be like so many diverse groups of people, and I love that. So thank you for being here, Spirit of Detroit. I love that. It just makes me feel happy that I have such like a diverse group.
Shout out to Detroit in the building. What up, though? Yeah.
I love it. And then here's another hi, Rod Dallas, because it feels like we in a big man cave, y'all. Really family. I know that's right.
That's the homie right there, man. Major love to Rod Dallas. He always tapping in when we on the stream and stuff like that, man. Good people, real good people.
Love that. And then obviously Arsenal just showing love. He also talks about Steelers fans, so we welcome all of those in. And then we are going to end this here in a minute. I will take one more amazing question if I see one before I am able to end this here. But is there anything else, Moats, that you want to talk about that we said that we were going to talk about that I forgot that we were going to talk about that you would like to mention here before we end this live?
I was over here thinking, I'm like, yo, did I forget something? I might have forgot something. Did I forget something? I might have forgot something. I don't think I did. Maybe. Well, see, because we talk. Listen, we talk some trading cap. We talk some free agency. All right. We even talk who we want to add to the game.
I need the audience to know where we started and where we kind of ended up is not the same. Okay.
We talked the trade impact. We talked some Jalen. We even focused on Jonnu Smith a little bit today. Come on, man. Like, yeah, we even talked a little Omar getting his 3-year extension. They just tried to just throw out there casually on the holiday weekend. Oh, it's 4th of July weekend. Just take this 3. No, you ain't about to slick that in on us, players. Stop that.
Exactly. So I would like to know, before we end this, I would just like to know, does anybody have any amazing holiday plans? I also just want to say this so that you hear somebody saying it to you at some point. Make sure that you take care of yourself this weekend and make sure that you make it home this weekend. Like, make sure you focus on what's important and make sure that you make it home. Because a lot of people I've realized do a lot of craziness on July 4th. And I'm like, let's get focused. Let's watch the firework. Let's watch the fire, igniting the firework.
Put it in reverse, Terry. Come on, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Come on now.
All the things we need to do in order to make it home. And then, as Bird said, smash the like button. Both of our things. We're live streaming on both. This is Moat's first. What is it called?
It's my first dual stream. My first dual live stream. Dual stream. My first dual stream.
Now that I have to watch my words, okay? And then when I slip up, the whole chat is going to lose their crap.
Oh, you already know this. They can't wait. You know this. They can't wait. That's what we're just like, yep, my first dual stream. It's my first dual stream. Dual live stream. All right. Just on the internet. The first dual live stream on YouTube. All right. Just
everyone is waiting for me to be like, she's going to say it. She's going to say it. Hold on. Like, I know that you all are waiting. Okay. I am trying my hardest. So there's that. The other thing is too, we'll just end with, let's see. I need something good.
About to say, give her something good. Come on now.
Somebody give me something good. I might even let it up if it's inappropriate. If it's funny.
Uh-oh.
If it's funny. Because I will laugh. I like a good laugh. Let's go.
Okay.
But if I don't get a good one, I'm setting off the fireworks in my backyard. You still need to be very careful. Okay.
Please,
You
Mike,
still need to be careful.
please be careful.
You
He's that's the
still need to be
Ohio
careful.
State Buckeye fan in the building, man. All right, you feeling real good. All right, you seen a lot of championship fireworks in the past 6 weeks or past 6 months. All right, so you good. Just be careful. Please be
I
careful.
love it. Hey, David Dupree. Is that the one that I
DD
know?
Smalls. That's the whole. Yeah, heck yeah, heck yeah. Let's go, DD.
Hi.
Let's
How
go.
are you? That made me
Yeah.
so happy. That made me so
Heck
happy.
yeah, man.
Awesome. Well, no one's saying anything that is like funny or entertaining, and I know everyone's waiting for me to slip up, and I'm not going to because I am disciplined.
You locked in. Heck yeah, you locked in. That's what I'm talking about. Locked in.
But honestly, seriously, if you haven't already, subscribe to both of our channels, like both of our channels, all of those great things. I am going to say this here. Moats and I will be back. We will be back. And honestly, you've got to lead it, and I get to sit back and just relax.
And now that I've seen, how this goes, you've set this like high bar over here. The intros, I'm over here like, yo, dang, this is crazy, man. Like,
you gotta come up with your own intro. Okay, you'll have a few weeks to come up with your own intro.
I'm like, man, that's nuts right here, man. Sheesh.
I love this, but honestly, I appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate you all supporting our episode when I was on your channel. So shout out to you all for doing that. I jumped in the comment section because that's what I do. So thank you all for watching that. I really appreciate it. I want to leave here by saying this. On my channel, Moats and I have an episode about the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we did our 32 fan series. Right now, the freaking Ravens has more views than our video.
Can't have
that
happen.
That is unacceptable. Okay,
not happening.
We as a community, we need
black and gold. Okay? Y'all know the drill. We don't do this.
Ravens,
come on now.
Watch us, okay? Do not.
We are not about to allow these rat birds to win at anything. Okay, rat birds do not win at anything.
If you have not watched that episode, I am going to drop it here. I think you should be able to see it if I drop it. And yes, you need to go watch it. Okay. We will not lose to the freaking Ravens in the freaking offseason.
Can't happen.
We're not doing that. So go to my channel, watch that video. Yes, we're not doing that. Anyways, I appreciate all of you. Honestly, we'll end on you, Moats. What do you have to share? What do you have to say?
Man, shoot, man. All good, man. I'm just glad we got a chance to do this. I think it was a good vibe for the first go around. So ladies and gents in the chat, you already know the drill. Hit the like button, subscribe one time for the culture. But yeah, look forward to doing this again. Hopefully you have a great holiday weekend too. But yeah, man, as I said, just ready to keep doing this, keep building, keep growing with you.
I love it. Well, thank you so much. And you know what? I'm going to end with a good old fashioned, here we go.
Let's go.